Good morning. Welcome to the Celtic Way Morning Briefing Live. I'm Tony Haggerty, Haggerty 10, and today it's just the two amigos because one of them was called away on babysitting duty, young Sean, looking after wee Sophia. But today I'm joined and delighted to be joined by Aidan Macdonald, Twitter handle Aidan C. Macdonald, my Twitter handle Haggerty 10. You all know that by now. So how are we all doing? Friday the 16th of September, the domestic bandwagon rolls on to Paisley. But before we do that, Aidan will just direct everybody's attention to the start line at the bottom. Subscribe to the Celtic Way. You know what I'm going to say. Covering the club you love. £1 a month for 2 months of full. £1 for 2 months of full access. You can join us. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, guys, and you get access to everything on the web and access to the pods where you can see myself and Aidan and Sean talking regular rubbish about Celtic. Isn't that right, Aidan?
Of course.
Indeed. Now, Aidan, St Mirren, Paisley, Sunday. Your thoughts initially?
Initially, like all games, it's a massive game. Celtic have got to win, particularly with Rangers playing on Saturday. If they get a win, it puts the pressure on. So, massive game, and I'd imagine Ange Postecoglou will want to get a victory and he'll want to score a few goals to take a few chances after the other night. So, it's really important.
We'll get to the score prediction further down the line, Aidan. We'll put you on the spot and see what you think. But are you thinking Ange will rotate his squad on Sunday? Is this a game where some guys can get some valuable game time? Or are you not a tinker man per se in terms of continuity and guys having their eye in and playing well?
I think there might be like the odd change here or there, but I think he'll want to continue the momentum of the performance the other night. Obviously, we spoke about it yesterday. It was a wee bit frustrating, but I think he'll want to make sure that we get a good result. And if we do play like we did the other night, I think we'll get the positive result. And also the fact we're going into the international break. So obviously, I know a few guys won't be playing for our countries over that period, so they will get a rest. So I think it will be a relatively similar team that starts. Personally,
Yeah,
I don't know about you, Tony. But
along the similar lines. Well, I mean, excuse me, guys. A lot of people, especially yesterday, were calling for Aaron Moy to start. Now, I called for Aaron Moy to start in the cup tie against Ross County, and he did very, very well in that. Celtic made light work of Ross County by winning 4-1 in Dingwall. Are you for the clamour for Aaron Moy to start? Is that something that floats your boat?
So I wouldn't have any issues with him starting, but I just can't see him taking out Callum McGregor, to be honest. I think there's a high chance that Aaron Moy will come off the bench at some stage into the game. But then he might throw a wee curveball, play Aaron Moy, and then push McGregor a wee bit further forward. But I'd be surprised if Aaron Moy started personally.
Yeah, I mean, you said there you're not envisaging a lot of changes, Aidan? A lot of similar personnel, yeah?
Yeah, I think it will mostly be similar from back to front. Just the way we played the other night, because we did play well as we spoke about. So I don't think he's going to want to change too much. Just with the international break coming up, obviously I think if we were going into another big set of fixtures, I'm sure he would have made quite a few changes. Probably a similar starting lineup to the one that played up at Ross County potentially in the League Cup. But I personally think he won't make too many changes.
We'll find out later on today because Ange will be speaking to the press about who's in and who's out, if MD at all. But domestically, Aidan, they seem to be taking their chances against teams. It's in Europe where their Achilles heel with taking chances. But, I mean, I'm not envisaging too many problems in Paisley. I think whatever team Ange puts out, Celtic will win the game and will probably win it comfortably. But, again, you have to earn the right to do that. But they are coping with teams comfortably domestically at the minute.
Yeah, we seem to be doing really well domestically in terms of being able to just press and smother teams, and also defensively, we're not giving up a lot of chances. I think we've only conceded 2 goals domestically, if I'm right in saying, the one at Ross County and then the one in the league against Ross County and then the one also in the cup. So we've also been doing very well at the back. I would hope that it'll be a comfortable win for Celtic on Sunday.
Does Bernabe and Ralston come into your thoughts for this one again, Aidan?
I think Ralston potentially could be a consideration he might get put in. Given that he's also been called up to the Scotland squad, I don't know how much he's going to feature in that, so Ange might want to actually get him some game time. But I think in terms of Bernabe, I think Greg Taylor. It's just his position all the time. To be honest. I think it's a bit like Cal McGregor in a way at the moment. I can't really see a game. I can't really see a game where either one of them gets taken out. So I don't know about Bernabe, but Ralston could be a shout, Tony. As much as Juranovic done very well the other night, you might just want to give Juranovic a rest, to be fair. But.
Yeah. Now, St Mirren, the up and down start to the season, they lost 2, then won 3, but latest heavy defeat from St Johnstone, 3-0. Do you read much into that, Aidan?
I think if they'd won that game against St Johnstone, I might have read into it a wee bit more. But I think you can find when we play a lot of these teams, they will sort of raise their game anyway, even if they've been on a really, really bad run. Obviously, like you mentioned, St Mirren got off to a bit of a rough start, then got a few good results, and then they lost. So, also been a wee bit up and down. I don't usually read into other teams' form too much, Tony, personally. I don't know about you.
No, I don't. I always caveat that with, I think the manager also says it's about what Celtic do, how they could impose their brand of football on any opposition, and but I'm always saying that you have to be mindful of the opposition. They can cause you problems, but I think the way Celtic are playing at the moment, there's a swagger and a confidence about them, certainly domestically, and they're not just beating teams; they're beating teams comfortably and handsomely, and they're playing some good football. So, yeah, I agree with you in terms of that sense. Yeah, but I think it's a game that Celtic are capable of winning comfortably.
Yeah, I would hope that we can get a few goals and we get a good performance, which is what the manager's all about. And obviously, domestically, the stats would back that up. I mean, pretty much all the games have been relatively comfortable victories. I know, obviously, up at Ross County, for example, it did at one point go to 1 each, but we ended up winning 3-1, and we probably missed a few chances in that game. Could have had a few more goals. Aberdeen, the first day of the season, was obviously 2-0, but once again, there was chances we could have won more comfortably. So I'll hopefully we'll pick up the win and it'll be quite comfortable.
Now, the viewers are very perceptive on this show, Aidan. You're being accused of drinking wine already at this time in the morning. Don't try passing it off as diluting juice. So, can you confirm to the viewers what it is you're drinking? Because
I can confirm it's diluting juice, but it is in a beer Moretti glass. I should have
Indeed. Well, there you go, guys. Just thought I would get that out of the road because I know these things annoy you, like the wardrobe annoys you and stuff like that, and people's habits. But yes, too early for that kind of caper, isn't it, Aidan?
Just a wee bit too early.
That's for the weekend. The retro Celtic, I say, Aidan's got a cheeky vodka and cranberry. There you go. You know what I mean? See, you can't get away with anything. Nothing's sacred. But yeah, diluting juice. The man's breaking through the ranks, trying to make an impression. Don't be telling him with this kind of brush alcohol before even the pubs are open. Aidan, nonsense. Watching Tony's, there you go. Watching Tony's Addy box at the top of the cupboard, I'll have them down as a gazelle, man. I mean, they miss nothing, do they? I've got all sorts of trainers, guys. Call it a trainer fetish, whatever you want, a passion. I've got quite a few boxes of Adidas trainers. There you go. One day you might see them as well. Anyway, back to the football, Aidan. And obviously the other night it was a disappointing result. They still took a point away from home in the Champions League, and it still sets them up nicely. But they're on a tremendous unbeaten domestic run, Aidan, and at the minute, it's quite hard to see somebody toppling that.
No, it is quite hard to see somebody toppling that, Tony, you're correct. And I don't want to make too many comparisons, but it does kind of feel like this current domestic run, a bit like the Invincible season where you just can never see a team beating us. Yes. You might draw a game here or there, that can happen. You can have frustrating days when you can't score, or maybe you can see a stupid goal yourself. But I can't see anybody beating us, and I hope I'm not tempting fate when I say that. But at the moment, I can't see anybody being able to get near us, to be honest.
Well, I think Brendan Rodgers' side went 69 games unbeaten, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
So they get leathered at Tynecastle 4-0 by Hearts. The wheels came off in spectacular style in that run, went kaput. But yeah, I mean, it's as you say, they're a long way off that at the minute, but they are at this minute in time playing with a verve and a vigour, and as I said earlier, swatting teams aside, and that it augurs well, and it augurs well for the fact that Sean bangs on about the depth chart, but it seems to be that whatever team he plays, they're all very comfortable in the setup and the way Celtic go out to play and dominate teams, and it's certainly they're taking their chances at the minute. Some of the results of late have been very, very good.
Definitely, and just to touch on when you mentioned the depth there, I mean, we do have strong subs we can bring off the bench. You even seen that the other night,
Yep.
being able to bring on Giakoumakis, being able to bring on David Turnbull, who, particularly David Turnbull, at times he was usually a regular starter last season, just played all the time before he got his injury. Being able to bring on Abada, another one that would usually be starting all the time, and then bring on somebody like Aaron Moy, who's pretty tidy as well. It's good depth to be able to have. I mean, at one time, maybe not Aaron Moy because he's obviously not long signed, but at one time, a lot of those guys would have been like your main players starting, and you wouldn't have had other players to come off the bench. It would have been like young players or people that were a bit kind of out of the zone of the team, like James McCarthy, etc. So the fact you've got that depth is brilliant, to be honest.
Would you be tempted also, possibly, Aidan, to give Siegrist a game? Rest Joe Hart, or you just keep going, yellow jerseys type stuff, not done anything wrong?
I think so, Tony, to be honest. I don't want to be repeating what I was saying about Greg Taylor and Cal McGregor, but I think Joe Hart's probably another one. I think he's probably just going to play pretty much every game. Potentially in the Motherwell Cup tie,
Yes.
coming up in a few weeks, that might be a game where we see a similar squad to the Ross County away game and Seagrass might come in. Once again, I wouldn't have any issues with Seagrass coming in. When he was at Dundee United, I really liked him and I was so happy that we managed to sign him, but I think it's going to be Big Joe will be in tomorrow. Oh, sorry, Sunday, I should say.
You touched on it there, that they went the break for the internationals. You always want to go into that on the back of a win, don't you? Because it's a long 2 weeks when you're left kicking your heels if you don't get a positive result. And Celtic have been pretty adept at that of late. But again, you can't take anything for granted. Ozzy comes in and says full throttle. He's wanting Celtic to go at them again and probably play a stronger team and the strongest team that Ange has available. And it depends. It just depends how Ange sees it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, we know what Ange is like. He wants good performances. He wants to win all the time, like a lot of managers do. So I think he will, as Ozzy was saying, will just go full throttle. Yeah, but it is important to go into the international break for all the reasons that you just mentioned. You want to keep that momentum going because you're going to lose a wee bit of momentum, as every team is going to. It's not just Celtic, obviously, because you're not going to have a game for a couple of weeks. So if you get a positive result, that leaves a good feeling for the players going away. And when the players who are on international duty come back, you can hopefully just pick up from where you left off. So it's vitally important that you get a good result on Sunday.
Yeah. Dalhallow LP comes in. Celtic will show no love at Love Street. Love Street being the old St Mirren ground. In fact, here's a fact for you, Aidan. 2 grounds in Scotland were actually called after the team name, and 2 of them were Celtic Park and St Mirren Park. People called them Love Street and Parkhead. Parkhead being the area that the ground's in, and Love Street being the street that. But they were actually called Celtic. The real names, Celtic Park, still Celtic Park. And I don't know if the new ground at St Mirren is referred to as St Mirren Park, but the original Love Street was St Mirren Park. So that's a wee bit of trivia for you there, eh?
Every day's a school day, Tony.
What's that?
Every day's a school day.
Oh, every day's a school day. Celtic Park, St Mirren Park. There you go. Marvellous. But I would like to think that they would have renamed it St Mirren Park, even though they moved just down the road. But yeah, that was always one of those. I always thought, wow, that's a bit of a quirk. It took me forever to learn that or know that until somebody pointed it out. But indeed, here we go. Kevin Fair, Tony, we'll have smashed the windows in the bus to win. What does that mean? Explain, Kevin. Think it's New St Mirren Park. Paul Andrew Martin comes in. Yeah, I would like to think it was called New St Mirren Park, but that's yeah. And the retro Celtic's coming in with his team. Here he goes. Hart, Ralston, Cameron Carter Vickers, Gents, Taylor, Cal Mack, Tati O'Reilly, Jota Kyogo, Abada. It's a strong team, Aidan. Would you be along similar lines? You probably hinted at that earlier.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any issues with that team lining up, Tony, at all. There's goals in that team, there's pace, everything. And just the fact that you could name a team like that or maybe change 3-4 players in there and you would still be happy with the depth shows how strong the squad is and how good the recruitment was in the summer, January and last summer as well. So, no, it's a strong team.
I don't know if anybody. I don't know if anybody came off injured or was feeling the effects of any knocks the other night. I wasn't aware of anyone. So, but as I say, Ange will certainly enlighten us to that later on. Kevin Fair said they will park the bus in front of goal. Right, cool. The reference was lost on me there, Kevin. It kind of makes sense now. Yes, indeed. Well, I think Celtic are capable of breaking down teams, Aidan, that park the bus per se. You have every confidence in this team to do that, don't you?
No, I 100% do. I know there was maybe some games last season, particularly near the start, Livingston twice, Dundee United at home, where we did kind of struggle a bit to break down the low block. But I think we've got over that to an extent now. There's been plenty of games where teams have tried to sit in and we've scored a few goals. That's required them to come out, which has left more space, and we've been able to score even more goals. So I wouldn't have any worries about them being able to break that down. That certainly won't be an excuse I'll be using if we don't get a result.
Now, I'll direct you to the website as well. I spoke to Frank McGarvey in the middle of the week, and 40 years ago this week, Celtic played Ajax in a humdinger in a European Cup, and they drew 2-2. And Frank McGarvey said that it was the best game of football he's ever played in. So, for those of a certain vintage, if you go onto the website, you'll be able to have a read at that. It was excellent to talk to Frank about that. I was going to try and put the link up there, but it's probably beyond my technical kennel, Aidan. You know what I mean? But there you have it. But yes, indeed, now people are asking if Sean's in the wardrobe. No, he's not in the wardrobe. He's on babysitting duties. His young daughter, Sophia, has been unwell the past couple of days, and he's looking after her. So we wish her well. Hope she makes a speedy recovery. But yeah, he's just having to take some quality time out, family time, Aidan. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it? We all have responsibilities indeed. So there you go. So left me in the comfortable hands of young Aidan, who's coping like a veteran doing this podcasting rubbish. Aidan, it's second nature to you now, isn't it? You're loving it.
Learn from the best, Tony. Learn from the
Well,
best.
I wouldn't quite go that far, but yeah. If you're learning, great. I'll take that as the biggest compliment of today, you know. So here we go. Dalhala goes back in, pump balls into Jensen, Georges, Giacomakis, etc. 5 or 6 now. He's saying, well, getting to that stage, Aidan, shall we go for a score prediction? Celtic 4 St Mirren now 4 years ago. You're showing in my YouTube feed. Well, there you go. There's lots of confident Celtic supporters out there, Aidan, that they can hit St Mirren for a few. Do you share that optimism and confidence?
Yeah, I think we can get a few goals. I'll maybe go a wee bit more of a conservative prediction than 4. I'll go for 3. 3-0. I think it'll be
3-0 Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think one more. I think 4-0 Celtic. I just think they're capable. Andrew Gillea agrees. Andrew Gillea there, 4-0. And Marcus Mark comes in. Chalanik scored an absolute Scots in away leg against Ajax, which Celtic won. Yep, the goal's on YouTube. He did indeed. And Frank talks about that as well. How a certain Desmond White chairman who's opened the purse strings after that win and let the boys celebrate in style. So you can have a wee read on the website there. Frank talking about the great when Johan Cruyff came to Celtic Park for the one and only time in his career, Aidan, because Celtic played Ajax twice. When Johan Cruyff was playing, but the first time they played them at Hampden Park. So he only ever played at Celtic Park once, and that was it. And Frank says it was the best football match, not the best game he's ever put in terms of a football spectacle. He said that was the best, and it was a great game. I was 10 years old, Ed, and there you go. I went along. My father took me along, sat in the main stand, and just marvelled at this guy Cruyff, who was supposed to be past it, and he just he wasn't past it. He was wonderful. It was just a joy to watch. Sometimes talking about learning from the best, you kind of learn. Think, wow, that team played football. Jesper Olsen was playing as well. Great, wonderful footballer. For those who are old enough to remember that game, go and watch the highlights on YouTube. It's pulsating. It's brilliant. The first half an hour, I think the 4 goals were scored in. It's terrific. But anyway, back to Sunday. Lots of optimism and confidence abounding. Aidan, I think it's just reflective of the way that everybody's on point, singing from the same hymn sheet. The manager, the players, the board, the supporters. There's a real buy-in here, and and Celtic just, the games can't come quick enough for the Celtic supporters, really, can they? They're just really enjoying and loving what they're seeing.
No, yeah, everybody just wants to see Celtic play all the time. I think in previous years, obviously, when you have that wee spell in December, when there can be quite a kind of, clog up of games, and it starts to get a wee bit kind of, overbearing. But I think everybody would love something like that right now, because we just love seeing the team play. Every time you turn up, you're always entertained. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And the positivity's flowing around the club. Everybody's buying into Ange, like you said. The players are buying into the manager's getting buy-in back from the players, all the fans love the team. So no, nothing but positivity going round, Tony.
Speaking of positivity, Aidan, there you go, the Retro Celtic. Well done today, Aidan. Got to echo that. It's been a breeze. Just swatting these questions aside, no problem. Give me more. But it's an enjoyable part of the job, isn't it, coming on the pod and giving your thoughts on the wonderful Glasgow Celtic at the minute, who seem to be, as you say, let's say unbeatable. That's maybe a stretch too far, but they're certainly showing that they're more than a match for anything domestically, which is augurs well. And as you say, I think there's a real joy to be had from watching this Celtic team. I've said before that lots of Celtic teams in the past have been lauded. I wasn't fortunate enough to see the Lions, but they are the best. They are the benchmark. And then through history, Martin O'Neill's team, Tommy Burns' attacking team, but Brendan Rodgers' Invincibles team that you mentioned earlier on. But Ange Postecoglou's team is just, it's slowly but surely becoming entrenched in the hearts and minds of the supporters. They really are feeling that this team are playing the Celtic way. They're being entertained. They're seeing lots of chances and lots of goals, and they really are loving it, Aidan.
No, everyone's loving it. It's probably the most personally exciting football I've ever seen. Brendan Rodgers was obviously brilliant, but sometimes, the passing could be a wee bit slow when you're building from the back. Like, you could go through games where, like, there was the centre halves or the two fullbacks were just kind of passing the ball between each other. As we all know, at this stage, it's not exactly a new observation I'm going to make, but Ange is very much as quick as possible, get the ball forward as quick as you can. And that's what makes it so exciting. It's brilliant to watch. And not to repeat myself, but you are entertained every game you tune into, pretty much.
Michael McDonald says Tommy's team was the best football for him. Yeah, I think the comparisons with that is about the all-out attacking Tommy's team. That Andy's team are doing the same, but they're winning and they're winning trophies. Tommy sadly fell short, won Scottish Cup in his reign, but he was up against arguably one of the best Rangers sides in their history. So, that's no slight on Tommy's team, but they entertained, they swashbuckled, same as this team as well.
Sorry, somebody is currently drilling next door, one of my neighbours. Sorry about that.
It's all right, Aidan. We can't legislate for that. These things happen. That promising debut at the Retro Celtic there was
I know.
about to come back in and say, "What's going on, Aidan? What's going on?" But yeah, here's Anthony Brogan coming in with a nice comment. Love your show. Keep it up, guys. This is some Celtic team. We are all right behind the way this football team are playing. Unbelievable. Yeah, and I think that's the kind of, if you were to gather the opinion of the Celtic supporters, Aidan, they're just really happy. They're in a joyful place at the minute, aren't they? I think that's what it's joyful, really.
Yeah, everybody's really positive at the moment, Tony. Everybody's joyful, exactly like you said.
And Kaiser coming in. We are riding a wave of positivity and an Ange surfboard, doing handstands in the Champions League and slapping Wales. Now that for me would be comment of the day, but Kaiser won it the other day, so I can't be seen to. Yeah, indeed. Now, have you got a comment of the day, Aidan? Have you anything took your fancy? I'm trying to think about the bus. Someone said park the bus, didn't they? Which I didn't understand.
Yeah, I would say, Tony, that was probably my favourite one.
Yeah,
personally, it was the first comment.
Smashed the windows in the bus. It was Kevin Ferrier, wasn't it? And yeah. Kevin, you win the comment of the day that Celtic are going to go all out to smash the windows of the bus. It took a second for it to register with your old dad here. I'm getting old. I'm 50. I'm not sharp as I used to be. My George Best days or Johan Cruyff days are firmly behind me. Aidan, I've got a glorious future behind me, as they say in this game. But there you have it. Now, is he still drilling? Is he, Aidan? I see you've
Sorry,
got
they've got
you're
to
all
stop
right.
right now, but they're going every now and again. So
Listen, that's been a quick 25 minutes, Aidan. Thank you for your contribution. That was excellent. I'll no doubt say to the boss man, Sean, and we'll have you on again. That's a given.
Story. Cheers.
That's a given. You know what I mean? That's a given. Thanks, guys, for the comments. Kevin Ferrer, if you want to get in touch with us, comment of the day, indeed, for the parking of the bus and the smashing of the windows. Celtic bandwagon rolls on into Paisley. Let's see if they can waltz off with another 3 points before the international break. Kaiser's got tears in his eyes because he's not getting the comment of the day. Strachan's laptop, plenty's in the tank still, Tony. But yeah, I totally agree. I think everybody's just enjoying watching this team develop and the season unfold. We'll see what happens, but see if they can stretch their unbeaten run to 39 games. I think that would be, Aidan. Is that right?
I think it would be 39, Tony. Yeah,
39. I think they've gone a whole season in 38 games.
In September, it was wasn't it? Yeah. So
yeah. There you go. Some mad random person. Wow, that was extremely quick. And Andrew Gillier. Good work, Aidan. Top class, Tony. That's very kind, guys.
Cheers, Andrew.
Indeed. Aidan, thanks very much. We will reconvene on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a super Sunday. Myself and Aidan are away down to lie down in respective darkened rooms. Isn't that right, Aidan?
That's
before we set our mind to today's tasks, whatever they are, but no doubt there'll be plenty of them. Thanks for your contribution, guys. Always enjoy it. As I say, have a brilliant weekend, and hopefully Celtic make it #39, Aidan.
Fingers crossed, Tony.
Some guys say it's a vuvuzela. I hope it is a vuvuzela. I hope it stops soon, mate. Gives your ears a rest, all right? Because they're bleeding, I believe. There you go. Take care. All the best, chips.
Cheers, guys.